The most powerful thing on Earth is not humanity, but instead, Mother Nature, as it has the power to keep all of us alive and can bring about our destruction. Tornadoes are one way of her showing us who is really in power. Today, we shall take a look at a few of the most powerful ones ever to hit the ground in recorded history. Let us begin. 1. The Tri-State Tornado, although not the biggest tornado ever, is renowned for breaking several records, including being the deadliest tornado ever seen in the United States. On the original Fujita scale, the storm, which occurred in 1925, was retrospectively given the Category 5 tornado designation. The Tri-State Tornado's estimated route length of 151 to 235 miles now retains the record for the longest path. The 695 fatalities were twice as many as the second deadliest tornado in American history. Family members, or sometimes entire families, vanished, along with homes and hospitals. In southwest Indiana, there were at least 71 of such. $16.5 million worth of property was damaged. About two-thirds of that was in Murfreesboro alone. The Tri-State Tornado was a powerful tornado, although it was relatively modest compared to the other tornadoes on this list, with a maximum width of only a little over a mile. The Tri-State Tornado also had the longest known tornado duration, clocking in at 3 hours, 37 minutes. It's worth reflecting on the fact that no one is certain if the Tri-State Tornado was a single tornado or whether the stated devastation was actually caused by a number of tornadoes. 2. People in the southern plains learned to identify tornado days long before there were Doppler radars, live TV cut-ins from meteorologists, or even the modern notion of meteorology. Oklahomans had a kind of sixth sense that allowed them to pick up on the tiny signs that bad weather was on the way. May 3, 1999, however, was not one of those times, at least not at first.
It's about a half a mile down the road from us now, Gary. Okay, I'm going to stop here and we're going to give it a shot.
In reality, the majority of central Oklahoma awakened to rather gloomy weather. However, everyone is aware that tornadoes do not provide warnings. The Bridge Creek Moore tornado struck on May 3rd and 4th, 1999, as a part of the Great Plains tornado outbreak. The town of Bridge Creek was the one that was most severely affected by the tornado, as the tornado's name would imply. Sadly, the tornado's path passed across a significant portion of Bridge Creek's mobile homes, and 200 of these homes were entirely destroyed. The tornado was between 1 and 1.4 miles wide at its widest point when it impacted the town. Another tornado that was nearly an hour long and swept over multiple communities was the Bridge Creek Moore tornado. By the time the tornado had finished its devastation, 36 people had died, and close to 600 had been hurt over the whole area. The Bridge Creek Moore tornado caused roughly $1 billion in damage in all, including the estimated 1,800 homes that were destroyed and 2,500 residences that were damaged. 3. Many have different opinions on the matter of what happened on May 3rd of 1999. The Mulhall tornado is popularly considered to be one of the most dangerous tornadoes ever to hit the soil of the United States of America. The breadth of this wedge tornado, which had a 35-mile course, occasionally topped 1 mile. Although it was officially classed as an F4, storm chaser Roger Edwards claims that it was maybe much more ferocious than the F5 Bridge Creek tornado. This tornado was spotted by a mobile Doppler on wheels, or DOW radar, as it passed through Mulhall. The Mulhall tornado is the largest tornado ever measured statistically. The DOW recorded the widest ever observed core flow circulation, with a distance of 1,600 meters between peak velocities on each side of the tornado, and a width of nearly 7 kilometers, with peak wind gusts surpassing 96 miles per hour. The DOW recorded a complex multiple vortex structure, with several multiple vortices whirling around the tornado and packing speeds of up to 260 miles per hour. But it didn't stop there. The same parts of Logan County that were hit by the Mulhall tornado were hit again by an F3 tornado produced by a different supercell, that touched down 2.5 miles south of Crescent at 11:33 p.m. Central Daylight Time, about an hour after the tornado dissipated in southeast Noble County, 3 miles northeast of Perry. This tornado's destruction was identical to the damage left behind by the preceding F4 tornado. Near Crescent, 25 homes were destroyed and 30 more were damaged. It is thought that both tornadoes contributed to a large portion of the destruction. Despite the Mulhall tornado's magnitude, no one was killed since it primarily missed populous regions in favor of rural ones. 4. Storms have a habit of staying in people's memories, and the 2004 Hallam tornado is a prime example. On May 22nd, it was. An F4 tornado with a maximum width of 2.5 miles tore across the neighborhood south of Lincoln. The tornado was contained within the F0 to F1 range until it reached southern Wilbur, when it became an F2 and destroyed buildings by ripping off their roofs. As it proceeded into Clatonia, in an east-northeasterly direction, the tornado briefly touched down on Wilbur's east side. The tornado's estimated maximum strength in this location was F3. At 8:35 p.m. Central Daylight Time, the tornado went through Hallam, slightly northwest of Clatonia, causing damage with a high-end F4 strength. It was the greatest tornado ever recorded at the time, but it is now the second largest tornado ever recorded. 52 miles were traveled by the twister during its more than 10 minutes on the ground. Norris High School and its school buses sustained significant damage as a result of a coal train being thrown off the tracks. 19 tornadoes were reportedly produced during the storm. Following the hurricane, 70 inhabitants of Hallam's neighborhood left after watching their homes and others around them fly around in pieces as if wool. The memories of that evening are still vivid 18 years later, but new inhabitants have moved in, and the houses and other structures are gradually being restored. 1 person died, 37 were hurt, 158 dwellings were completely destroyed, and 57 were seriously damaged, racking up to a total of $160 million. 5. Cameras can never really justify the immense size and destructive stance of any tornado, no matter how well the person records it. On Friday, May 31st, 2013, a very big and destructive tornado touched down over rural portions of central Oklahoma in the early evening. The tornado made its initial landfall at 6:03 p.m. Central Daylight Time. .3 miles southwest of El Reno. As it moved across the center of Canadian County, it quickly became larger and became more powerful. As part of a bigger weather system that generated dozens of tornadoes during the previous days, this rain-wrapped, multiple vortex tornado was the largest tornado ever recorded. The tornado claimed the lives of 4 storm chasers, the first known fatalities in storm chasing history. Although the tornado primarily stayed in open territory, it caught off guard scores of storm chasers who were unprepared for its enormous size and unpredictable behavior. Thousands of people in Oklahoma City took to the roadways during rush hour in an effort to escape the disaster. Residents put themselves at significant risk from the storm by trying to flee by car, which was directly against the advised course of action. But the damages still happened, and other than lives, they were estimated to be worth around $40 million. Thank you for watching, everyone. Do subscribe to the channel if these are the types of videos you like to watch, as there will be more in the future. Smash that like button, and don't worry. Technology has come a long way, and you would be way ahead of any tornado that would likely occur. See you in the next one. Take care.